We meet a chubby boy who loves to eat until someone arrives who will change his life. So let's get started. Zhu Jingjing is in the schoolyard, determined to confess her love to Gao-chan, the popular athlete. However, a series of accidents frustrate her attempt, revealing that it was all just a dream. Upon waking up, Zhu Jingjing gets ready to go to school, but in her rush, she forgets to have breakfast. She decides to stop at a fast food stand, but the food isn't ready yet. There she meets Kang Jiawei, a classmate who is overweight, whom she tries to convince to share some food with her. After failing to do so, they both argue, and in an unexpected turn of events, they end up sitting on a glued poster. So, the two arrive at school, literally stuck together by their butts. Unfortunately for them, Gao-chan sees them in that awkward situation, leaving Zhu Jingjing embarrassed. At school, they both ask to borrow pants to change, but there isn't a size that fits Kang Jiawei. The student council president, interestingly also named Zhu Jingjing, kindly intervenes and gets some pants for him. Intrigued by the coincidence of names, Kang Jiawei asks Zhu Jingjing about it, but she, still upset, clarifies that what happened with the pants doesn't make them friends, and that she'd prefer if he left her alone. In class, Zhu Jingjing tries to talk to Gao-chan again, only to humiliate herself once more by failing. She clarifies that what happened with the pants doesn't make them friends, and that she'd prefer if he left her alone. In class, Zhu Jingjing tries to talk to Gao-chan again, only to humiliate herself once more by failing. Shortly after, she discovers that Kang Jiawei is a transfer student, and to her surprise, he is now in her same class. The arrival of the new student forces the teacher to rearrange the seats. Kang Jiawei, being the best student from his old school, ends up sitting next to Zhu Jingjing, the worst student in the whole school. Although Zhu Jingjing isn't happy with the situation, Kang Jiawei soon proves his worth by finding a mistake in the grading of her exam. This slightly improves her grade and makes her the second worst student in the class. This small achievement lifts Zhu Jingjing's spirits, and she decides to take advantage of her new classmate's help. And she asks him to let her copy his homework in exchange for a sheet of stickers of her own creation. The stickers, surprisingly beautiful, show that Zhu Jingjing has artistic talent. At the end of the day, while Zhu Jingjing stays to take an extra exam, Kang Jiawei returns home, where he discovers that, as usual, his dad is working and he'll have to have dinner alone. This seems to be a regular thing in his life. Later, Kang Jiawei does a bit of digging and finds out that President Zhu Jingjing participates in an online forum where they are both friends, online. Although she doesn't know that he has discovered her true identity, they chat through their avatars. Kang Jiawei's avatar is a slimmer version of himself. During the talk, the president mentions that she doesn't want to meet her online friends in person because she doesn't consider herself attractive. The next day, Kang Jiawei waits for Zhu Jingjing with breakfast and asks her for a favor. She needs help designing a brochure for the basketball team. Thanks to the brochure and after showing off some amazing skills in sports, Kang Jiawei manages to join the team. During a game, Kang Jiawei realizes that both Zhu Jingjing are interested in Gao-chan. This becomes clear when the two offer him something to drink. Gao-chan chooses the tea that Zhu Jingjing brought him, but ends up with an upset stomach. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Kang Jiawei steps into the game and surprises everyone with his performance. However, at the last second, he gives in to the pressure and takes a crucial shot, leaving it uncertain whether he will win the game. The game ends in defeat when Kang Jiawei misses the last shot, losing the chance to win. To make matters worse, during the play, he accidentally falls on Zhu Jingjing, which adds to his embarrassment. The next day, Zhu Jingjing finds out that she has lost the letter in which she confessed her love to Gao-chan. When she runs into him, she apologizes for giving him diarrhea with the tea she gave him. Gao-chan downplays the incident and seems to not think much of it. Later during class, the lost letter mysteriously reappears among Kang Jiawei's things. Some classmates find it and are about to read it. But before that happens, the teacher intervenes and confiscates the letter. In her office, Professor Lee reads the content, but when Zhu Jingjing is confronted, she decides to lie and claims that the letter was addressed to Kang Jiawei. No, to Gao-chan. The teacher seems willing to let the incident slide. But another teacher intervenes, reminding them that students should focus on their studies instead of worrying about romance. This leads the teacher to take a stricter stance. When he confronts Zhu Jingjing again, Kang Jiawei unexpectedly shows up and takes the blame, admitting that the letter was for him, thus saving Zhu Jingjing from bigger problems. As a consequence, the teacher assigns Zhu Jingjing the task of writing a self-evaluation report about her behavior. Although she initially plans for Zhu Jingjing to read the report in front of the whole class, her classmates convince her that the content is too personal, making the teacher change her mind. This decision causes the teacher's discontent, who had previously pushed for disciplinary action. The teacher's frustration eases a bit when another younger teacher expresses his support, validating her approach. Later, Xu Jingjing seeks Gao Chan's help to find out how her letter ended up among Kang Jiawei's belongings. However, Gao Chan seems uninterested and doesn't want to get involved. Despite this, events take an unexpected turn when Gao Chan finally decides to join Xu Jingjing and Kang Jiawei as they begin to suspect that a teacher might be behind what happened. The three of them try to retrieve the letter, and in doing so, they discover some strange marks on it, leaving them with more questions than answers. The teacher confronts Xu Jingjing, suggesting she step down as president, risking the club's closure. Xu Jingjing seeks help from Gao Chan, a black belt. He suggests that, due to her poor grades, she should resign as president of the taekwondo club, which would put an end to the club because of a lack of enough members. Determined to prevent that from happening, Xu Jingjing asks for Gao Chan's help, who is a black belt. However, Gao Chan refuses, so Xu Jingjing challenges him to a duel to prove her worth. Meanwhile, Kang Jiawei and Xu Jingjing have another argument, during which Kang Jiawei notices that Xu Jingjing is also wearing a bracelet similar to the one the student council president has. This leaves him confused about which of the two could be his online friend. The next day, the taekwondo duel is set up in the school gym, although Xu Jingjing is ready to face Gao Chan. He doesn't show up anywhere, leaving everyone in suspense about what will happen. Half an hour before the anticipated taekwondo duel, Kang Jiawei discovers that Xu Jingjing too is being watched by a stranger while she practices her cheerleading moves. In trying to defend her, Kang Jiawei ends up getting beaten up. Gao Chan, after receiving a call for help, arrives at the scene and finds Kang Jiawei, injured, being attended to by Xu Jingjing too. It's at that moment when Gao Chan explains that he had already suspected something like this could happen, as he had seen a strange guy previously. That's why he always walked her home. The three decide to keep the incident a secret, since Xu Jingjing too's mother has forbidden her from practicing street dance and she fears getting into trouble. Meanwhile, in the gym, Xu Jingjing is declared the winner of the duel by forfeit. Even though everyone is celebrating, she can't help but feel betrayed by Gao Chan's absence. Later in the rain, Kang Jiawei and Xu Jingjing meet up and decide to grab a bite to eat. During the meal, Xu Jingjing is surprised to see how Kang Jiawei can eat with enthusiasm, despite claiming that he has no appetite. Meanwhile, Xu Jingjing too and Gao Chan return home, and she apologizes for involving him in the incident. The next day, Kang Jiawei fills Xu Jingjing in on what happened with Xu Jingjing too and the stranger who was harassing her. During the day, Xu Jingjing too and Gao Chan seem closer, something that neither Kang Jiawei nor Xu Jingjing is happy about. However, Kang Jiawei makes progress in the mystery of the lost letter, discovering that the golden dust covering her comes from a cheerleader's pom-pom. This discovery leads Xu Jingjing to suspect Xu Jingjing too, whom she accuses of being competitive and never really caring for her. As Xu Jingjing talks more about Xu Jingjing too, she realizes that Kang Jiawei tends to defend her. This leads her to conclude that he is in love with her. She finds this funny, but it doesn't distract her from the mystery. They both continue investigating until they find evidence that Xu Jingjing too had access to the letter, which confirms their suspicions. In class, they confront Xu Jingjing too until she is forced to apologize. Even though they achieve their goal, the situation creates a tense atmosphere. Xu Jingjing feels stuck. Kang Jiawei says she's talented. I step behind people like Xu Jingjing too. However, Kang Jiawei motivates her, reminding her that she has many talents that make her special. Inspired by his words, Xu Jingjing convinces Kang Jiawei to start a diet and exercise to improve his health. So, the two form an alliance to become better versions of themselves. However, both face difficulties on their journey to improvement, but they find mutual support in their friendship. Soon after, Xu Jingjing too sincerely approaches Xu Jingjing to apologize. But she doesn't accept it and walks away, leaving Xu Jingjing too reflecting on how, from her perspective, she always felt overshadowed by Xu Jingjing. Later on, Kang Jiawei talks to Xu Jingjing too and hears her side of the story. Unlike Xu Jingjing, Kang Jiawei decides to forgive her. Meanwhile, Kang Jiawei's training continues, and it is revealed that he lives with his father and has a tense relationship with his mother, whom he avoids accepting anything from. As the days go by, Kang Jiawei and Xu Jingjing continue to support each other as they work to overcome their own challenges and grow together. Whom he avoids accepting anything from. As the days go by, Kang Jiawei and Xu Jingjing continue to support each other as they work to overcome their own challenges and grow together. Although the road isn't easy, they both find comfort and strength in each other's company. Kang Jiawei closely monitors Xu Jingjing's progress in her studies, even going as far as to watch her through a webcam to make sure she doesn't cheat. However, Xu Jingjing finds a way to go out and have fun, leaving a doll to trick him and keep up the illusion that she's still studying. The next day, Kang Jiawei scolds her for what happened, urging her to put in more effort, to trick him and keep up the illusion that she's still studying. The next day, Kang Jiawei scolds her for what happened, urging her to put in more effort. Xu Jingjing explains to him that she finds it very difficult to adapt to his advanced study system, as she is not used to that methodology. Understanding her situation, Kang Jiawei develops a new study system based on rewards and punishments to keep her motivated. For her part, Xu Jingjing decides to apply the same strategy to motivate Kang Jiawei in his workouts. They both come to an agreement to support each other in their goals. Through a montage, we see how both make significant progress. Xu Jingjing improves her grades and Kang Jiawei becomes more consistent and efficient in his physical training. Over time, the day of an important exam arrives. Although Kang Jiawei isn't worried, Xu Jingjing feels confident for the first time, sure that she's ready to face the challenge. Days later, Xu Jingjing finds a video of Xu Jingjing 2 dancing in a parking lot, sure that she's ready to face the challenge. Days later, Xu Jingjing finds a video of Xu Jingjing 2 dancing in a parking lot. Upon showing it to her, Xu Jingjing 2 deduces that the person who recorded that video could be the undercover photographer who is following her. When Xu Jingjing suggests reporting him to the police, Xu Jingjing 2 explains that her mother forbids her from dancing anything that isn't classical dance, and she fears being blamed for attracting bad company if it's discovered that she was practicing hip-hop. Faced with Xu Jingjing 2's refusal to go to the police, the group decides to catch the photographer themselves. They use edited photos of Xu Jingjing as bait, and Gao Chan manages to contact the photographer using a fake name. The next day, the group meets in a public place where Xu Jingjing, dressed as a schoolgirl, waits for the photographer. He arrives with some friends and tries to take Xu Jingjing away, but her friends come to the rescue. The confrontation intensifies when the criminals try to escape and the heroes chase after them. Kang Jiawei confronts one of the men and gets hit, but Xu Jingjing arrives to help him. The situation becomes dangerous when the criminals pull out weapons, but just in time the police intervene. Even though everything ends well, the officers reprimand the group for trying to take justice into their own hands. In the end, the group is closer than ever, and it is revealed that Gao Chan's father was a police officer and died in the line of duty. The next day, the exam results arrive. Xu Jingjing feels euphoric after getting a 90 in math, but her joy fades when she sees that her grades in other subjects are still low, leaving her with the lowest average in the class. Kang Jiawei encourages her to keep pushing, reminding her that progress is a continuous process. Motivated by his words, Xu Jingjing decides to keep working to improve. With the arrival of summer, the vacation begins. Although the protagonists go their separate ways, they both continue working towards their goals. However, Xu Jingjing realizes that she can't stop thinking about Kang Jiawei. At the end of summer, the friends reunite, but Xu Jingjing is in for a big surprise. After the vacation, Kang Jiawei returns to school after losing 50 kilograms, surprising everyone with his transformation, especially Xu Jingjing. Besides his physical change, Kang Jiawei shows a remarkable improvement in his self-esteem, projecting a confidence he didn't have before, surprising everyone with his transformation, especially Xu Jingjing. In addition to her physical change, Kang Jiawei shows a notable improvement in her self-esteem, projecting a confidence she didn't have before. When the teacher rearranges the seats in the class, Xu Jingjing ends up sitting next to him again, highlighting the contrast between their progress. Xu Jingjing feels discouraged. Aware that despite all her efforts, she is still the worst student in the class, Kang Jiawei, however, assures her that he hasn't given up on his goal of helping her and that he will keep motivating her to improve. Kang Jiawei's popularity also becomes an unexpected problem. Since his return, he has caught the attention of many female classmates, even gaining more admirers than Gao Chan. For this reason, he assigns Xu Jingjing the task of keeping Raya in her growing fan club. Meanwhile, the math teacher offers Xu Jingjing a new opportunity. If she manages to pass 3 consecutive exams, he will allow her to return to the taekwondo club. This motivates her to double her efforts, relying on the support of her friends to reach her goal. At home, Kang Jiawei chats online with Xu Jingjing too, while they both watch a movie. During the conversation, Kang Jiawei accidentally reveals that he knows she is a girl, something that Xu Jingjing too had never explicitly shared online. This slip leaves her reflecting on their virtual friendship and how Kang Jiawei came to that conclusion. Back at school, Kang Jiawei rejoins the basketball team, standing out for his skills during a game. However, it is revealed that when he gets nervous, he tends to break his diet and eat sweets. During the match, Kang Jiawei finds himself in a crucial position, making the final basket that secures the victory for his team. However, after the game, there's a confrontation with the opposing team. It leads him to confront them, but he suffers a moment of weakness before the situation escalates. Gao-chan, worried, asks him if he's okay, but Kang Jiawei downplays what happened and quickly leaves to celebrate with his friends. Later, Su Jingjing, while walking with her friends, sees Kang Jiawei in bad shape. He gives him a candy and warns him that he's experiencing a hypoglycemic episode, suggesting that he should see a doctor. Kang Jiawei ignores the advice and walks away, visibly recovered, but still somewhat affected. In the following days, during the club recruitment period, Su Jingjing feels discouraged by the possible dissolution of the taekwondo club. Gao-chan approaches to ask her if she still wants him to be the president of the club and if she's willing to resume the duel. Initially, Su Jingjing rejects the idea, but Kang Jiawei manages to convince her to go ahead. The day of the duel finally arrives, and Su Jingjing and Gao-chan face off in the gym in front of their classmates. Although both seem to be holding back their punches to avoid hurting each other, they insist that the other fight with all their strength. Su Jingjing takes the lead at the start of the match, but Gao-chan quickly gains ground and starts fighting with more intensity, showing her skill and determination. As the duel captures the attention of everyone present when all seemed lost, Su Jingjing remembers Kang Jiawei's encouraging words and finds the determination to keep fighting. With all her strength, she manages to defeat Gao-chan, who congratulates her on her great performance. Meanwhile, Su Jingjing celebrates her victory by eating the treats she won from the bets in her favor. A group of students from another class shows up to provoke her. After a brief discussion, they agree that they will determine which class is the best at the upcoming school sports event. Even Gao-chan agrees to participate in the bet, although Kang Jiawei isn't completely convinced about the idea. After the announcement of the challenge, Gao-chan organizes the students in his class, dividing up the sports each one will participate in. Later in the cafeteria, Kang Jiawei talks to Su Jingjing and asks her how he can become the male representative of the class. Su Jingjing explains to him that he needs to fill out a series of documents and create a promotional campaign. Without wasting any time, Kang Jiawei convinces Su Jingjing and her friends to help him take promotional photos. While editing the images, Su Jingjing can't help but notice how much Kang Jiawei has changed, wondering if it was just the exercise that was responsible for his transformation or if there was something more, like surgery. She is also surprised to realize how much time she spends looking at his photos. During gym class, Kang Jiawei finds out that his classmate Daping is also interested in the position of male representative. They both end up arguing, intensifying the rivalry for the position. On the other hand, Su Jingjing is elected as the female representative of the class, and despite Daping's tricks, Kang Jiawei manages to win the elections as the male representative. Later, Kang Jiawei and his friends train on the school's racetrack, which is oddly empty. There, they run into students from the rival class, and what starts as a series of insults quickly escalates into a fight, which leads to everyone getting a reprimand from the teacher for their bad behavior. However, the teacher decides to forgive them after the warning. Meanwhile, Gao-chan expresses his doubts about his class's chances in the sports event. To cheer him up, Su Jingjing offers to run in the marathon, which gives the team a bit of hope, as long as she can focus exclusively on the race. However, the math teacher refuses to sign her up, arguing that the marathon is a sport for men and that her grades do not justify her participation in sports activities. In response to this refusal, Kang Jiawei suggests to Su Jingjing that she gather signatures to show that she has the support of her classmates. Even though Su Jingjing manages to collect all the necessary signatures, the teacher still refuses to sign her up. Her teacher intervenes in her defense, confronting the math teacher in a discussion where it becomes clear that they both have very different educational approaches. The teacher reflects on this situation and, motivated by a younger colleague she admires, decides that she needs to learn to stand up for her ideals to be a better guide for her students. Meanwhile, Kang Jiawei and Su Jingjing too collaborate on writing comments for the sports festival. However, Kang Jiawei realizes that he has less in common with Su Jingjing too than he thought, which leads him to reflect on his relationship with her. Finally, Su Jingjing presents her request to the teacher again, but it is not only rejected. From what he thought, it leads him to reflect on his relationship with her. Finally, Su Jingjing presents her request to the teacher again, but not only is it rejected, but the teacher humiliates her in front of her classmates. Furious about the situation, Kang Jiawei steps in to defend her, which leads to a verbal confrontation with the teacher. In a fit of indignation, Kang Jiawei decides to resign from his position as class representative. Su Jingjing confronts him about his decision, telling him that he's overreacting. However, Kang Jiawei responds that his resignation doesn't matter, since one way or another he will make sure she participates in the marathon. The next day, Xu Jingjing too expresses her admiration to Kang Jiawei for standing up for Xu Jingjing, which shows how much her perception of him has changed. Kang Jiawei accompanies Daping to visit his father, a textile industry mogul, hoping that he can design special uniforms for their team for the upcoming sports event. However, Daping's father initially refuses to collaborate. The situation changes drastically with the arrival of Gao Chan. The man, impressed by the athlete's presence, decides to accept the proposal and agrees to design the uniforms for the team. The sports event begins, but Kang Jiawei's team doesn't show up on the field on time. The teacher, worried about the absence of her students, asks the event organizers to buy some time. Meanwhile, she organizes the search for the uniforms with the help of the math teacher. She asks the event organizers to buy some time. As she organizes the search for the uniforms with the help of the math teacher, to the teacher's surprise, the professor arrives at school on a motorcycle, something that seems to impress her. Finally, the uniforms are delivered and the team shows up at the opening ceremony. During the presentation, the boys on the team show up wearing skirts as a sign of protest against the teacher's refusal to allow Xu Jingjing to participate in the marathon. The action causes outrage in the teacher, but the school principal finds the gesture clever and decides to seize the opportunity to make a change. He announces that this year there will be 2 marathons, one for men and another for women, and that starting next year, a mixed marathon will be organized. With this decision, the games begin. Kang Jiawei participates in one of the initial races, but, like on previous occasions, he suffers an episode of weakness and is sent to the nurse's office, where he is forced to follow the events through his phone. Meanwhile, Xu Jingjing runs in the marathon, facing greater difficulties than she expected. Despite everything, she manages to find strength in the support of her friends and, with determination, rises as the winner. Despite everything, she manages to find strength in the support of her friends and, with determination, rises as the winner. The victory is celebrated by everyone. She rises as the winner. The victory is celebrated by everyone, as Kang Jiawei and Xu Jingjing's class ends up winning the sports event. The teacher, to celebrate, invites them to eat, and there she advises them to follow their hearts. Later, Xu Jingjing can't help but worry about Kang Jiawei's health, especially after his recent collapse. She suspects that behind his physical transformation, there's more than just diet and exercise. She decides to ask Gao Chan for help to investigate, but he refuses, since he has a meeting planned with Xu Jingjing too. Xu Jingjing shares her suspicions with Kang Jiawei, and they both decide to investigate on their own. Not very discreetly, they start spying on their friends, looking for clues about what's really going on, as they try to find out if there's something more behind the meetings between Gao Chan and Xu Jingjing too. Kang Jiawei and Xu Jingjing meet up to spy on their friends, discovering that Xu Jingjing too is trying to convince Gao Chan to teach her some judo, supposedly to teach it to her cousin, who couldn't attend. Gao Chan reluctantly agrees, but just when he starts training with Xu Jingjing too, the main characters burst onto the scene, claiming they were exercising. Determined to help Gao Chan with the judo lessons, Xu Jingjing gets involved. But Xu Jingjing too changes her mind. Finally, the 4 of them end up going together to a game gallery. In that atmosphere, the competition between Xu Jingjing and Xu Jingjing too for Gao Chan's attention resurfaces. Xu Jingjing too tries to get rid of the 2 unwanted guests, but Kang Jiawei and Xu Jingjing don't give up. Even though they know they're not welcome, they stay close to the couple. However, Xu Jingjing has a little accident, which makes Kang Jiawei rush to her aid. Leaving Gao Chan and Xu Jingjing too alone, they finally have a moment together. That night, everyone goes home with mixed feelings. Kang Jiawei and Xu Jingjing feel a bit guilty about their actions, although not enough to stop them from repeating them in the future. Meanwhile, Xu Jingjing too feels discouraged because she confessed to Gao Chan her desire to attend the same university as him, but he didn't catch the intention behind her words. Later, Kang Jiawei receives an online message from Xu Jingjing too, inviting him to meet in person. Eager to seize this opportunity, he goes to the meeting place but instead finds Gao Chan waiting for him. The situation leads him to an unexpected conclusion. Gao Chan could be her online friend, which makes him panic. When he tells Xu Jingjing about this, she finds it funny, while Kang Jiawei tries to avoid Gao Chan in the following days. However, due to the small size of the school, where it seems there are only a few students, avoiding him turns out to be impossible, and they both end up paired as a team during a gym class. At night, Xu Jingjing's mother checks her phone without her consent, and she finds a video of a dinner where the students talked with their teacher, who encouraged them to follow their hearts. Furiosa organizes a meeting with the teacher and other parents to complain. However, Gao-chan's mother intervenes, pointing out that when watching the full video, it's clear that the teacher isn't encouraging them to have relationships or drop out of school, but rather to reflect on their future. The students, upon learning about the situation, head to the teacher's lounge to defend their teacher, but the parents, blinded by their outrage, refuse to listen to reason. Finally, the principal intervenes and proposes a deal. If the class manages to be among the top 3 in grades by the end of the year, it will prove the teacher's worth. With this new goal, the students get ready to improve their grades. Although everyone starts to make progress, Xu Jingjing still struggles to move forward. Kang Jiawei, determined to help her, commits to studying with her until she improves. However, the tensions at Xu Jingjing's home continue to grow, since her mother refuses to listen to her. This creates a distance between them and leads to conflicts, even with her father, who disapproves of the invasion of his daughter's privacy. On the other hand, Kang Jiawei receives a new online friend request from his mysterious friend. Not knowing who is really behind the screen, he starts to doubt everything he thought he knew about that relationship. In the virtual world, Gao-chan tries to communicate with Kang Jiawei, but he informs him that he will be offline for a while, ignoring any attempts at interaction. Meanwhile, at school, even though the students show a considerable improvement in their grades, Xu Jingjing doesn't feel like she's making progress, and this depresses her. Her insecurity grows when, during the first exam, she suffers an anxiety attack and leaves the test. Worried, Kang Jiawei follows her out of the classroom. Xu Jingjing confesses that she's afraid of trying her hardest and still failing because that would confirm that she's not smart. Kang Jiawei, he comforts her, assuring her that her achievements in such a short time are proof that she is capable and that her hard work is paying off. As the exams go on, Gao-chan talks to Xu Jingjing and tells her that he has discovered the method Kang Jiawei uses to lose weight. Later, while they are eating together, Xu Jingjing, in tears, she confronts Kang Jiawei and tells him that she has noticed he uses different methods to deceive others, making it seem like he's eating normally, when in reality he's not consuming anything. This is the reason behind his rapid weight loss and his constant fainting spells. Finally, Kang Jiawei admits that his friend is right and accepts Xu Jingjing's offer. She will design an exercise system and a healthy diet for him that will allow him to reach his goals without putting his health at risk. When the exam results come in, Xu Jingjing experiences unprecedented joy upon seeing that for the first time she gets high grades. In addition, the class manages to place 4th, which, although it's not enough to reach the top 3, shows a significant improvement. However, the happiness doesn't last long, since the math teacher accuses Xu Jingjing of cheating, claiming he has proof that she took pictures of his screen, possibly of the exam answers. When Xu Jingjing hears about the accusation, she explains that the photos weren't of the answers, but of some dolls that the teacher has on his desk. Even though she shows this evidence, the teacher doesn't believe her. For her part, the teacher trusts Xu Jingjing, but she has no choice but to wait for the decision of the school authorities. Devastated, Xu Jingjing returns home and tells her parents what happened. The next day at school, a mother. She reviews the exam results and hears the math teacher admit that although the class improved by getting 4th place, this doesn't justify the dismissal of the teacher. However, he adds that the cheating accusation against a student is a different matter. Just then, Xu Jingjing's mother appears, demanding explanations about the situation. However, he adds that the cheating accusation against a student is a different matter. Just then, Xu Jingjing's mother appears, demanding explanations about the situation. And so, with this open ending, the first part comes to a close. If you want me to upload the second part, 1,000 likes, subscribe, and comment more dramas so I can give you a heart.